Hey guys, you are on the most mystical channel, Mr. Creepy Depp. Today I'm going to tell you 3 of the most true incidents involving phone calls. Huge request, subscribe to my channel and put a like under this video. This will give me the opportunity to tell longer stories for you. Thank you all for your support and enjoy watching. It was just past midnight, and the only sound in the house was the reassuring hum of the refrigerator from the kitchen. I sat still in the dim glow of my laptop screen, eyes bloodshot from hours of delving into the esoteric complexities of coding. My phone lay dormant, its dark face reflecting the ambient light from my workstation. It had been quiet for hours, the world asleep as I soldered on in my lonely vigil. I wasn't expecting any calls. Not at this hour. Suddenly, the room was shattered by the jarring melody emanating from my mobile device. I jumped, heart racing as adrenaline surged through my veins. The screen brightly illuminated with a string of numbers I didn't recognize. An anonymous caller at midnight. My throat was suddenly dry, the quiet hum of the refrigerator now an ominous growl in the background. As my hand reached for the phone, an anxious chill shot down my spine. I answered the call. A parched whisper of wind blew through the phone's speaker, so faint that I wasn't entirely sure if it was real. "Hello?" I croaked, my voice echoing in the silent expanse of my house. Silence followed, then the wind whispered again. Now I was sure it was not wind. It was someone's breath. "Yes?" I insisted, trying to make it sound stronger than I actually felt. My heart pounded rhythmically inside my chest, matching the tick of the wall clock. Suddenly, the whisper of breath transformed into a soft, raspy voice, chillingly void of emotion. "I see you," it whispered, each word drawn out, spoken slowly as if savored. My heart felt as if it had plunged into my stomach. The room packed tighter with dread, and I involuntarily glanced around, trembling. The words echoed in my head. Unreal. It had to be unreal. A prank call. Who is this? I managed to stutter, desperately scanning the darkness beyond my windows. A low, throaty chuckle resonated from the other end, making my skin crawl. "You'll know soon." The line went dead. My house was quiet again, save for the hum of the refrigerator and the pounding in my chest. I tried to laugh off the lingering chill, but the laughter stuck in my throat, choking me. Turning off the lights, I snuck a look one last time into the gloomy night outside, praying this was just my brain fabricating a nightmare. That call, those words, they hang over me, a shadow stretching out from the dark corners of my room, from the unknown face on the other end of the phantom call. I stare at the darkened screen of my phone, waiting and dreading another ring, hoping it was just a sick joke. But in my heart, a fear stirs and grows. Who could it be? What did they want? I am no longer alone in my solitude. I can hear that breath in the silence of the night, and though the phone lies quiet and dark, it's as if it whispers to me, "I see you." That was late one evening. The clock had just struck 2, accompanying the ceaseless rhythm of the rain against my window, battering like 1,000 ghostly fingers. The house vibrated in the silence, trying to hold itself together against the brutal weather. I clutched my throbbing head, caught between the incessant pulsating pain and my overdue manuscript. Suddenly, the harsh, piercing ringtone of my phone sliced through the silence. Odd, I thought, looking at the ominous black device as it convulsed on my desk. The letters unknown danced on the screen. No one should be calling me at this time, not in this weather, and definitely not somebody I don't recognize. With a frown etching itself deeper into my forehead, I reached for the phone. My heartbeat thrumming in my ears, I answered, "Hello?" Silence. I strained my ears, breaking through the deafening discordance of the rain. Then, a chilling sound trickled from the other end. It was a sobbing, soft, forlorn, and somehow juvenile. The pitiful sounds echoed in the silent room, making me grip the phone tighter. "Hello?" I tried again, softer this time. Who is this? Can you hear me?" The sobbing relented. It slowly changed into something similar to a whimper, interspersed with hiccuping gasps for air. Then came a voice, high-pitched, worryingly familiar, and filled with terror. "I need your help." A chill ran down my spine. Those words, just 4 simple words, seemed to paint the entire room in a sheen of dread. The voice, it wasn't familiar in the sense of a friend or relative. Rather, it dredged up dark fragments of my past, cold nights spent shuddering under the weight of fear of something unnatural. "Yes," I managed to blurt out. "Who are you? What happened?" There was a pause. The silences stretched, each ticking second heavy with anticipation and dread. Then the voice returned, barely a whisper, soaked in pure horror. "Don't you recognize me? It's Samantha." My heart stopped. The phone nearly slipped from my numb fingers. Samantha, my little sister, has been dead for 10 years, lost to the unforgiving waters of the sea during our ill-fated family vacation. Her voice came again through the phone, even clearer than before. "I'm still trapped, scared, and lonely. Please help me." The connection severed abruptly, leaving me in atomic silence. I stared down at the cold, silent phone, the echo of her call resounding within the confines of the room. The rain continued its ruthless assault, indifferent to the living nightmares revived within me. After all these years, was Samantha reaching out, or was it some cruel joke playing on my most devastating memories? Regardless, I couldn't ignore this. The dead had knocked upon my door, and I felt compelled to answer. The night lay heavy before me, fraught with unknown terrors. I knew sleep wouldn't come again anytime soon. I clutched the phone tighter, my resolve strengthened by the echo of a voice long gone. I wasn't sure what lay ahead, only that the phantoms of the past wouldn't rest until I did. One thing was clear, dawn would be a long time coming. It was the middle of the night, the inky blackness outside my window only disturbed by the solitary glow of a flickering street lamp. I was deep in my work, tucked away in the quiet forest of my papers strewn across my dilapidated desk. The silence in my apartment was nearly holy, broken only by the gentle rhythm of my pen scribbling hastily on sheets of notepaper. Suddenly it broke, the quiet, the focus, all of it shattered by a jarring sound. My phone, usually as silent as my apartment, began to ring. I could see its neon green glow reflecting against the otherwise dark room, creating a sinister aura. I frowned. Who'd be calling at this unspeakable hour? Most of my acquaintances knew of my nocturnal habits well enough to abstain from such interruptions. I picked up the vibrating device, squinting at the unknown number displayed on the glossy screen. No name, no photo, just a string of unidentifiable digits. Hesitant, I answered. A crackle came through the phone, then silence. I pulled the device away from my ear, checking to ensure the call hadn't dropped. But the call timer was still ticking away. I said a cautious, "Hello?" into the receiver. A whistle of wind, like the very breath of death himself, echoed through the line. It was an eerie sound, chilling me to the bone. Then a soft whisper, so soft that I almost missed it. "Do not hang up." Taken aback, I tried to mask the unease coiling in my gut. "Who is this?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. "You are not alone," the disembodied voice responded. It was strangely inhuman, like sandpaper against concrete. The very tone elicited a wave of goosebumps over my skin. "What are you talking about?" I pressed, scanning the lone room I sat in, trying to shrug off the feeling of being watched. Just as I was about to demand more answers, a hollow, distant laughter crackled from the phone, twisting into a grotesque melody that made my skin crawl. And then, the most puzzling and frightening words echoed through the malign connection, words that sent a rush of icy panic through my veins. "Look outside your window!" Alarmed, I turned my gaze slowly toward the window. The room felt significantly cooler, the atmosphere heavy as I peeled myself out of the chair and tiptoed toward the glass. I pulled back the curtains a crack, heart pounding like a drum in the haunted stillness. Across the street, under the dim flickering light, there stood a figure. The shape was indistinct in the shadows, but I could tell it was staring right at me. I blinked, and for a second, it was gone. I squinted into the darkness, trying to make out if it was my mind playing tricks or it was something terrible. Suddenly, the phone went silent. The call had ended. I lowered the device, my already pale skin paler from shock. I felt a breath of cold air on my neck, making me whip around. My apartment was empty, but the feeling of being watched lingered, the haunting words of the unknown caller echoing in my ears, a chilling symphony in the deafening silence of my midnight solitude. I was no longer alone. That's all for today. I hope my stories made an impression on you. If so, don't forget to put a like under this video and subscribe to the channel. In the next videos, you will be waiting for the most mystical stories from around the world. Do not miss. See you in the new video.